Hello YouTube, Chrome Freak here. I have got to be the biggest moron on YouTube. I made this video last night where I opened up my new parts kit for the Makarov, took all the parts out, replaced all the parts in the frame, and I never hit the record button. So for 25 minutes I sat here talking to myself and replacing parts. Real nice, huh? Well, it's not all for a loss anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and make this video. I gotta take it apart anyway. Let me show you what's going on here, guys. What's going on is I'm right back to the problem I had a couple of months ago. Let me tell you a little story behind this pistol. I've had this pistol for quite a while now. I bought it back in, I want to say, the early 90s. Can't remember exactly. I'd have to pull out the receipt, which I always keep my receipts for every pistol or any firearm purchase for that matter. But it's been a long time, and I've put thousands of rounds through this. I can confidently say I know I put well over 10,000 rounds myself through it. It's probably even a whole lot more than that. I bought the gun used, so there's no telling how many thousands of rounds have been put through this little pistol here. And God, it's a great little pistol. I love these little pistols, I really do. You want to talk about quality and well built, and for the price, it's just amazing. It really is. Anyway, what's going on here, guys, and I hope you can see this. I got the new hammer in here. Well, your hammer is cammed onto one side so it'll fit in this one open hole. So the hole on this side is solid. On this side it's cammed so you can get the hammer in. And I'll show it to you as we break it back down. When I pull the trigger, what's going on is it's creating a gap right there. The hammer is wanting to come up out of that hole. That hole is literally in the frame, literally worn out. So what I'm stuck at is I've got everything in here right now is brand new, from the sear, secondary sear, trigger bar trigger, hammer, sear spring, slide release, leaf spring, everything is brand new in there. But because of the gap that's being created, because the frame itself is what's getting worn out, all the rounds I put through it, and there's no telling how many was put through it before I got it, like I said, I'm going to have to take the new sear out. So what I've decided to do is put the old sear that I have already worked on. I took this file right here by hand, and I slowly took down this edge. I probably took, well, I'll tell you what I took. I took exactly what the gap is right here in the frame between the pin and the frame when you pull the trigger. That's exactly how much metal I took off the edge of this sear right here to get it to release in double action. Like there, see what's happening? Work fine in single action, no problem. And by the way, these new parts, wow, I can just feel really a lot harder to cock. When I did put the slide on with the new recoil spring, wow, what a difference. I want to show you guys, I don't know if you could see this, but this recoil spring is at least 3/8 of an inch longer, if not a half an inch. The new one, that's how many times this thing is just worn out. It's been compressed, and it's been worn out. As everything is in this gun, and now even the frame. I really didn't notice it big time. I knew that was what was causing my problem last time and why I had to take the metal off the sear, but I didn't realize how badly it had gotten. So really, the only thing I could do to fix that is to bring it to a gunsmith who would weld that and recut and put a new hole in it. But the problem with that is it would cost me more money than what the pistol's actually worth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take the new sear out, keep it with some of the parts and all my old parts. I don't throw any parts away unless they're completely broken. I'll put that in a bag, mark it Makarov parts, and I'll always have a brand new one there because I'm now back in the market to buy myself another new, hopefully a Bulgarian. I love these Bulgarian Circle 10s. And I'm going to look for one and I'm going to pick one up. And this gun here is still going to be working. It's still reliable. I've shot a lot of rounds through it in the last few months since I've grinded the sear down. I've had no issues. So I'm going to use it until it just flat out wears that frame out. And then, you know, in the meantime, I'm going to pick myself up another Makarov, hopefully a newer one, and we'll see. You know, the polygonal barreling in here, I will say, is still in awesome condition for the amount of rounds through it. It's just, it looks brand new. It really does. It's awesome, and I just love this little pistol so much. I'm saddened that it's starting to wear out, to be honest with you, but yeah, it gives me an excuse to find another one, and we will. So let's go ahead and let's go. Oh, another thing you guys didn't get to see in the first video, the brand new firing pin, which I need. I need this because the firing pin in the slide right here is slam worn out. It really is. It's bad. Well, this new firing pin that came with the new parts kit is missing a complete groove back here, so I cannot get the safety. By the way, this is the new safety, which is also not right. If I match it up to the old safety, there's some differences. I don't know, it's not the proper safety, or in manufacturing, you got to remember these are surplus parts. These are parts in Bulgaria that were probably rejected, thrown in a box, and then when they get brung over here and bought and sold over here in the market, well, they were rejected for a reason. There's a groove missing here. The sear's not exactly right. Well, not the sear, I'm sorry. The safety is not exactly right. So I'm going to be contacting Makarov.com. That's who I had won the bid from Gunbroker to get the parts. And hopefully they'll send me out a new firing pin and a new safety. And if they want, I'll send them these back. Okay, let's go ahead and rock and roll. Okay, what we're going to do is you remove the keeper plate right here on the back. Simply take the plate off. Just like so. Pull the new leaf spring out. By the way, I know I keep drifting. Brand new leaf spring, old leaf spring. Man, I'm going to tell you what, the flimsiness in this old one and the stiffness in this new one is night and day. Night and day, guys. That is absolutely worn out too. The new one's great. Okay, the next piece that's going to come out is we're going to take the sear out. And to do that, you got a spring. Your sear spring right here folds over the slide release back here where the ejector is. The round comes back, hits this ejector out the ejection port. So you take that little spring, you fold it around. Let me do this without scratching stuff up. Just grab it, pull it around and let it fall down in there. Then I'm gonna just take the sear, you kind of just bring it all the way over. It's cammed just like the hammer is. So there's gonna be a spot in there, where a sweet spot where it's gonna come out. And yep, there it is, popped out, and I bring the slide release out with it. But at least I don't know if you guys can see this on this camera, if I'm even in the film right here, but it's cammed. It's 45 right here. This one is solid round, and then the frame itself, this hole is open, and this hole back here where the hammer fits is also open. On this side, this is a solid hole here. However, on the hammer, it's not. It's cammed on both sides on the hammer, but only on one side on the sear. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the spring. Let's go ahead and pull it completely down so I can show you guys that. You go ahead and you take the hammer, bring it all the way forward. It's cammed also, it pulls right out. You reach in, you can dump it out if you want. Your trigger bar and your secondary sear, I call it. Probably got another name, but that's what I call it. And the trigger, which are all brand new. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off this brand new sear here. I'm gonna take the sear spring off, put it back onto the old sear. And we'll keep the new sear here as a spare part. And then I'll have a whole pistol of spare parts here when I buy my new Makarov, which I am going to do because it's time. The frame is worn out. Obviously, not even a parts kit's going to cure that. And the amount of money it would cost to have somebody to weld that up and drill press a new hole in it is just not worth it. It's not for the amount that I could pick a brand new gun up for. Or not a brand new one, but you know what I'm saying. I'm rambling, guys. The spring out of here. I need my glasses on because I'm going blind. I can't see a dang thing. Anyway, guys, I got some really cool videos, and you guys are really gonna like the one I got coming up with my friend John. It's going to be an outstanding series of videos. But the one, and I don't want to give it away, but I'll kind of say drag it off, and just to give you a little teaser there. And that's kind of what it's going to be about. And I cannot wait to make that video. And you guys, I think, are going to love it. Where is my other sear? Oh, here it is. Okay, here's the brand new sear. Here's the old sear. I wish I could stick them side by side somehow to show you guys how much metal I actually had to take off. It's not going to be able to do it, but trust me, I took quite a bit of metal off of this old sear to get it to work in double action. So let me go ahead and put the spring back on. Fits on there. There's a little hole right in the sear that the spring goes in. Make sure you get it in that hole and push it all the way on, like so. And this is the brand new spring. Here's the old spring. And once again, very flimsy. You can feel the difference from the new ones and the old ones, by the way. Here's the old extractor spring. I wish to God I'd have hit the record button on that video. I'm very disappointed I didn't. What a moronic move, because it would have been a great video, especially running into the problems with the, you know, the safety and the firing pin. All right, guys, I'm rambling. I always say I don't want to make long videos, and here I am just going on and on. But some of y'all like it, so, you know. Why, you know, I'm making a video, why not take my time, do it right, and we talk about things, man. That's what it's all about anyway. I'm not no professional movie maker. You know, I'm not Warner Brothers. I'm, you know, Mike sitting here changing parts on a gun that I love to do. Okay, trigger goes in first. Next piece is going to be the trigger bar. Could kind of be a pain in the butt to keep the parts where you want them. But if you pull the trigger back and kind of lock it, not lock it, but hold it back that way, it kind of keeps the secondary sear on top where you want it. But it ain't no big deal. If the trigger goes forward and it falls down in the hole down here, you just simply pull the trigger back and get it back up around. And it probably will do that to us several times during this procedure. And, you know, it's just one of them things you got to deal with. It's a pain in the butt, but it is what it is. Okay, the next piece that's going to go in is we're going to put our brand new hammer in. And I don't know if you can see better now that the hammer's out of the way, but this is the hole that's worn out right here. This hole is just, I mean, I can see it in there that it's rubbed hard and hard and hard. Up thousands upon thousands of rounds. There's no telling how many rounds this gun really has in it in its life. But I know, like I said, I've put at least 10,000, if not more. Okay, let's go ahead and let's get the hammer in. Get the hammer in, it's going to go. You're going to almost hold it even with the frame, just like so, to get the cams in. And you just got to tinker a little bit to get it in there and get it right, because that secondary sear is kind of in the way. There it is. And you just got to play with it, man, because it's tight, it's new. And there it is, I got it. And my secondary sear has popped out. Kind of the pain in the butt I'm talking about right here. But that ain't no big deal. There it is, I got it back. It's back on top. You just got to play with things, guys. Nothing's going to go completely right, believe me. Murphy's Law always comes in these, you know, when you're messing around with firearms. Always, when I'm putting parts together. Rarely. It usually goes good until I turn that camera. You know, everything went very well last night, and that's why. The camera was off. It was amazing. I thought it was on, but things went extremely quick and well. Okay, the next piece that's going to go in is going to be the sear. On this side, you're going to have to get the pin through the slide release and the frame, and also have it back this way, because it is also cammed to get into this hole. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. I hope you can see, but it's kind of, it's one of them things. You got to play with it, and it'll go. Oh, I got it backward. You got to play with it, and it'll go in. Okay, you just got to remember, you got to have your spring on the right side. What the heck am I doing here? Okay, get my head together. I'm looking at things backward than what I normally do. And I got the spring, I put the spring on the wrong side of the sear. I won't edit this out, I promise you, but these are the little things. I'm having fun, man. It is what it is, right? Okay, make sure you got the spring on the right direction. Put it back onto the sear. That hole in the sear that the spring goes through goes all the way through. And you can't mess up, because you'll see, well, just like I did right there, oh, it's backward. It won't allow you to put it into the firearm backward. So if you do, it's as simple as that right there. It's already fixed. Okay, get the hole started first through the frame and the slide, which could be a pain in the butt, especially if trying to let you guys see. Let me get it. Probably just not even gonna worry about it. I got a disassembly and reassembly video of this whole procedure already up on YouTube. So if you really want to see the detailed of this, you can. You're just gonna have to go over there into my my videos and find it, but it's there. And it gives, I hope, a much better view. It's two videos. One's a disassembly, one is a reassembly. And if it's that bad, just let me know, and I can redo this whole video. But I'm just very disappointed that I was not able to, I didn't hit the record button. Kind of sucks, man. For 25 minutes sitting here making what you think is a good video and take the camera off and realized, oh my God, I never hit record. Silly, huh? Okay, this is a pain in the butt right here. You got to get that cam just right or it's never going to go in. And this new slide plate also has got no play, no room for error. Come on guys, please. Everybody's waiting on me here. There it is. Okay, we're in. Now I got to get that secondary sear back up, so I pull that trigger, make sure it's back up. And I just let the sear out. Oh, Lord have mercy. This is a pain in the butt, guys. This is the tightness of these things. At the same time, trying to get it where you can see it on camera, it's just a pain in the butt. Let me get this in. I'm sorry. What a knothead. Okay, it's on. Make sure the secondary sear is up. It is. Hallelujah. Okay, everything's there. Now I got to reach in, and we're going to grab the spring, and you're going to bring it over and let it fold over the top of the ejector here, or slide release. So I'll grab it. It's real stiff. It's brand new. So there it is. It's on. Hope you can see that. Okay, at this point here, everything looks good. Everything looks right. Except I don't like that secondary sear, the way it's sitting in there. And you just got to kind of maneuver that a little bit by playing with the trigger. Come on now, get where you got to go. Ay, ay, ay. And I got this all messed up, man. It's hung under the dang sear. I let it get under the sear bar. And I just got to get it to where to clear that. I might have to take the sear back out. And if I do, I'll edit that out. I won't edit the mistake I made out, but I will edit that out because I'm not going to sit here and make you guys watch something 2 or 3 times. It's silly. Okay, let's just take the spring off. I probably won't have to take the whole sear out. Just got to take the spring out. I'll just get out of the way for a minute. Reach up in there. There we go. Now we're cooking. Okay, everything's got to be on top like you see. Now I got to reach in there and get the spring back and put it on. Okay, there we go. Oh guys, man, I'm gonna tell you what. I think it's this medication I'm on. I really do. My mind is just not as sharp as I once normally was, or once was. Oh, right here. At this point here, you want to go ahead and release the strain on the hammer and the sear. Just pick the sear up with something underneath and push the hammer forward. So when you get this leaf spring in there, by the way, just put it up in there and push down. Just like that. It will fit in where it's got to go perfectly. Trust me on that. You'll sit here trying to drive yourself crazy looking up in there because it don't look right, but it will make itself right. Trust me on that. And this is also very, very tight. This new spring and plate, keeper plate, and I might have to get it started and then use my hammer to get it on because it is really, really tight, guys. I'm not kidding. In fact, it's very tight. But everything's right. I'm confident that everything's right with the sear, secondary sear hammer and all that. It's just the tightness of this thing. That's all it is. I got it defeat. There it is. Okay, I got it started and I got it on. Okay, you just got to get it right, play with it. And I'm not a professional, as obviously, but I am confident in what I do. You know what? All I'm going to do is try double action. Let's see. No, it's still not going to work. I'm going to have to take more off. I'm going to have to take more off of that sear. Absolutely. I bet you if I put that old hammer in there, but now it's like, why? Why change any parts at all? Man, there's still a big gap there, guys. You see how close it is? You just barely touch and it goes off. Bang. Bang. So there's not a lot of grinding I got to do, but there is some more I got to do. Okay, that's going to be the difference right there of the old hammer, the wear in the old hammer right here. I'm going to have to take that down in the new hammer is what I'm going to have to do. Oh, it actually worked that time. But now it's not. Now it's not enough. It's not reliable enough to trust. So we'll go ahead and just to get this video done quickly, I'm going to install the old hammer back in. And then in another separate video, we'll take the hammer out, because I actually want to do this because people complain about the trigger pull on a Makarov. So actually, that's exactly what I'm going to do. In fact, I'm going to leave this alone for right now. That's what I'm going to do. And the next video on this is what I'll do. I'll put the gun back together before we end it, and we'll check everything else to make sure everything else is working. But what I'll do is the next video I do on the Makarov, we'll take it down, and I'll do what I like to call my own little trigger job on there. I get in there and I buff, just like on a Glock. There's certain pieces that rub together in here that will improve your trigger immensely. Hey, look at that, it's working in double action now. What the heck? Okay, guys, I fixed it. I don't know how, but it's working. Okay, well, I won't do that then. But what I will do is I will take it apart and we'll do a trigger job. I still don't trust that. I can't believe it's working all of a sudden. But we're going to get in there and I'll show you what to buff out and maybe take a file real nice and easy. It's better if you buy the stones. And we'll grind a little bit off of the hammer. We'll buff is what we're going to do. We're going to buff some parts from the hammer, from the sear, the secondary sear, and the trigger and trigger bar. And it will, I promise you, improve the trigger on your little Makarov immensely. I'm talking big. Now, your double action, look at that, it's working. Your double, the more I do it, the more it's probably going to wear itself to where it's going to work more. The double action on this Makarov has probably got about a 15-pound pull, I'm guessing. But the single action, man, it is nice and crisp. But the old trigger, before these new parts, are better than this one is right now. I need to take this back down. Like I said, we'll buff, we'll grind, and we'll get this trigger, and I will do a video on that. So let's go ahead and get this pistol back together, because I'm happy with the way it's working right now. But I wouldn't trust my life to it till I get that sear or that hammer. It working in double action perfectly is what I'm getting at. So we won't be carrying this gun till there. This little Makarov tool, I highly recommend you guys buy one if you didn't get one with your Makarov. I think they're only like $4 or $5, but it's everything you need on your Makarov here. I want to use it, so we'll use it to tighten the grip back on. And I'll also, in the next week, I'm going to be going to the range. And I forgot to tell you guys this, but the Marlin models, let's get this gun back together, and I'll talk to you guys at the end of the video, because I just want to get it working. Okay, got to make sure that your trigger guard is down and over to either the left or the right. Just make sure it locks down like so. You're going to put it back in, and make sure it's cocked also, I'm sorry. Put it back in and down, and sometimes you got to play with it here. Sometimes it don't go exactly right. And there it is. You just got to find that sweet spot and go in. And look, it's working in double action perfect now. Absolutely perfect. Let's check safety. It will not work. It's got a hammer drop. Bang. Perfect. Won't work. Double action. Working beautifully, actually. Let's take this magazine apart, or take all the rounds out of this magazine. Make sure it holds back on the last round. Everything's working properly. There it is. Holds back on the last round. Boy, everything's stiff on this guy. Even the new slide release is just very stiff. Very stiff. I mean, that takes a lot of strength to get it. Just going to have to put some rounds through it, guys, and also oil it up. Man, that trigger just sounds so much crisper with all the new parts in there. Okay, guys, all the old parts here are going to go into a bag labeled Makarov parts. Make sure you label your guys' parts, because sometimes you'll be shocked on parts on guns. They look so much alike. So that'll be going in the bag labeled. And my next video up here, we're going to go ahead, while I'm shooting this video, I'm going to do another one. We're going to take the 590 bolt completely down. I've had numerous requests for this video. I just not had the time to do it. We're going to go ahead and get it knocked out. It's only about a 5-minute video. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And we will be bringing the Makarov back out, not only for shooting, but to do that trigger job. I want to show you guys what I personally, not a professional once again, what I personally do to my trigger to improve it, because it does make a huge difference on the pull and the feel and the crispness. But for the money, guys, I'm in the market for another one, because you just can't fix that the worn out hole in the frame. It is fixable, but not for the money. I'd buy a whole new pistol for that. Okay, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll be back doing the 590 bolt breakdown here very shortly, and be looking out for a video coming within the next couple of weeks, maybe next week, maybe in the next few days. When we got the time, John and I are going to do it, and you guys are going to, I think, love this video, and it's going to be a real eye-opener for a lot of people and how they look at Soviet sniper rifles, let's put it that way. Okay, YouTube, thank you. Good night.